Okay, good morning. Let's get going. We are going to, first of all, get my shit situated. Video unavailable. We are going to, first of all, get my shit, okay. Maybe I shouldn't curse within the first 30 seconds for ad reasons. We are going to, first of all... Yeah, I gotta get used to that one. Apparently that's a rule. That is news to me. Yeah, so more work on the ECS system today. I don't know if there's anything like specific I'm going to work on. I think it's just going to be me just trying to find opportunities to split apart my entity data. Yes, turn on, turn on. Okay. Alright, so we're at a stable point actually right now. Did some refactors last night as well. So we've gotten some more just little tiny bits of performance improvements. But I think we can do better. And one thing I was thinking is, rather than trying to get components off of the proxy actor, we should have that on entity data. So that we don't need to get the proxy actor just to get components off of it. I did make a little nicety function, get entity, or get proxy actor. So I think I want to go through these real quick, of which I thought there would be more. And I just want to see how most of them are for interaction, it seems. This, however, what is proxy actor doing? So I am getting equipment component here. So this one can be a little bit better, I think. I think we should do that. Equipment component, we should move that onto something. What is proxy actor used for here? That's just the owner of the data tree, which is important. Interacting objects. Okay. Proxy actor. Again, more interact action stuff. Another equipment component grab. Okay. That can be potentially a little faster as well. That's literally just getting the proxy actor. Okay. Setting the interact. Yeah, most of it's interact action stuff, which maybe I could make an interact action entity data, or like an interact entity data or something or other. Yeah, most of it's interact action stuff. That's inventory stuff. Now inventory, I do have inventory data, but I think inventory data probably has more stuff than is necessary on it. Okay, yeah, so basically, let's split apart equipment component and inventory component. Let's do that. Where is proxy actor? Yeah. Equipment component, equipment data, I don't think you probably have very much on you at the moment. Yeah, you only have default equipment. So here's what I'm going to do. We're going to keep sticking with our pattern of runtime data and spawn data, which maybe I should rename this stuff to spawn data, but this is going to be equipment. And actually, let me think about this. Maybe I should just make one. If you have equipment, should you also have an inventory? Or maybe I should. I kind of just want both of that to be in the same entity data, I think. I think that should both be in the same data. First, you are first. Welcome in, Voxel. Good morning. What would I call this thing? What would I call this piece of data that would have both equipment and inventory? Just like character defaults, maybe? I don't know. That's kind of a bland name. Entity data. And honestly, I could just cram everything in there because this does not need to be tightly packed data at all because it's just for spawning. I could just shoehorn a bunch of shit in here. F my entity data. And I think another thing I need to do is drop the inheritance. I think it's causing issues. Like, I should not inherit from this. And really the only reason that I'm using that inheritance is so that I can like generically print out all of the debug information for all the different datas. So it's not even that important. And I could change that to just do like, you know, some giga switch case statement. That would be a lot better, you know? And then that would actually clean up the entity datas themselves as well. So maybe we'll do that refactor today too. Maybe we'll do that today too. But for character defaults entity data, let's go ahead and move. We'll move this one. And maybe I'll have some booleans on here for whether or not it should spawn things. Can these be forward declared? I hope so. I don't think so. Oh, I need to put that on a button. I forgot to do that. We're going to do that. Give me inventory data as well. Oh, that's the inventory component. There we go. So default items as well. Just let's update that to default inventory items. And then let's do U property edit anywhere will be spawn equipment component. And I could do some like really nice editor functionality where I like hide, you know, the next property. But I don't want to do that right now. Okay, so we're gonna have this. Let's put it on the archetype. So we're gonna get rid of inventory entity data and equipment entity data. Ideal. Hello. Good morning. Reno. Welcome in. Welcome to the stream, guys. So we want character defaults, which would be CH. What is that? That's before O. H is before O, right? Can someone fact check that? E instanced struct. I mean, we can stick with that, but we're not gonna stick with that. Okay, so we put that there. Now we need to go into proxy actor and make sure that that gets like wired up. So we're not going to, that's not going to be by default spawned anymore. What we need though is auto car defaults equals, yeah, that was perfect. Good job. Good job, AI. Oh, that is an ugly signature no matter which way you cut it. This is a pointer. So if we don't, this then goes away. That then goes away. Char defaults, return. Okay. Char defaults, default equipment. If there is no char defaults or char defaults, B spawn equipment component is false, do nothing. Same thing here basically, except B spawn inventory component. Then I also need to add the equipment data, which is now going to just have equipment on it. This is going to have a U property for T object pointer, which should probably be T weak pointer, right? I need to get in the habit of only using weak pointers on the entity data. component. Yeah, and then that actually becomes quite nice because the debug printing out of the equipment, it's nice. It's quite nice. Yo, more ECS, let's go. Yeah, oh yeah, we got plenty of it. Good morning, Draconin. How are you doing? We got plenty of it. There's no shortage here. We have a plethora, even, if I may. If I may. Okay. What am I logging here? The key would have been the amount. So I guess this needs to be something like quantity. Yeah, do quantity there. I'm great, how are you? I'm doing well. Plethora, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let's get item tag instead. About 2 string there. Category. Got some tips for beginners. Not really. Not really. You know, I feel like I get to ask that every stream, and I still don't have a good answer. I guess my answer is just something along the lines of you know, figure out what your goals are, and then you know, try to come up with a project that you're passionate about, that you're motivated to work on. And this is just what works for me, so it might not work for you. You know, break that project down into its shittiest form. And, you know, just start trying to piece it together. Mad respect, bro, not using Copilot or any AI. I do have Copilot. I mean, I use the autocompletes quite a bit, but yeah, I don't do a whole lot of vibe coding. Only a little bit here and there. Hey, what's the progress on reinventing the wheel? Well, the wheel has, the wheel works, but it can be better. It's a little, it's like a, you know, if we were to continue with that analogy, the wheel is a bit octagonal, so we can make it a little bit more circular. It's maybe like a hexagon right now, so it's like, it works, but it's a bumpy ride, you know? He wants to have good codes. Oh yes, and I am known for writing. You know what? You know, a lot of people probably write code that's worse than AI. Probably. Anyways, inventory component. We need to put that on the inventory data. So we need to like actually create one of these and then spawn it on that bad boy. Okay, so F inventory entity data. Inventory entity data. So let's pop the let's pop the inventory component on there. And then we'll need to add it. Well, let's do that after this at the end here. Default items. So that's what this guy is for. Our default inventory items. Okay, cool. On with inventory component. Okay, yeah, we've got that. And then we want to add the entity data. Perfect. AI understood the assignment there. Now for the equipment component, we need to do the same thing. Do the same thing, basically. If I copy paste this, isn't going to understand. Equipment, entity data, or are we just saying data? Yeah, no, entity data. F, equipment, entity data, equipment component equals equipment component, F, equipment, entity data. Okay, so that's nice and split apart, but now there's going to be a bunch of broken things. Lots of broken things. What are you mad at? Why are you mad? That's not real. Those errors won't hurt me because I can't read. Okay, let's see. So it would be like equipment entity data that we need to go through and change. Or equipment. It's get proxy actor. Wait, I just searched for this and I found a lot more. That's not okay. Where are my equipment usages here? Okay, entity, yeah, here's one. Here's one. Can you please make video on all shortcuts? I mean, my dude, I think there's documentation for all the shortcuts. You don't need a video for that. Or any helpful extensions in VS Code. Yeah, I don't use VS Code. JetBrains master race here. Okay, so proxy actor. I guess we still need to get it, which is kind of stupid. Well, that one doesn't really help us at all. The owner actor, avatar actor. I mean, I guess the owner actor is just going to be the equipment component owner. So I can do that, actually. So that actually gets a little nicer. But I still need to enable or disable avatar. Yeah, well, for JetBrains or Writer shortcuts, Alt-Enter is your friend. That's how you get like this little menu. Generate code, you know, you can do things there. Cheap viewers, wow. I already have the cheapest viewers though. I'm kidding. Let me see here. What do I want to do about it? It's not, this isn't going to help very much at all. The change that I just made. Get component by class, new avatar. I'm working on a video game. We're building a video. I can show it real quick. We can show it real quick. So I'm working in Unreal Engine. I am making an RPG Colony Sim Roguelite with procedural terrain, destructible terrain, AI generated quests. So here's some procedural terrain getting generated here. I've been working on this project for almost 3 years now. I have not done any game dev before this. Nor did I know C++ before this, but I've been a software engineer for quite some time now. So I had some chops before this. Yeah, usually I have a bunch of entities spawned in the world, but we're refactoring the ECS system right now, so turned off spawning for the time being. Private account, welcome. So yeah, here's a little bit of the world. A little bit of the world. Let me get on top of this little hump here. Yeah, there's like little bits and pieces of it. Here's the world map here. Each of these are like different zones. This is a procedurally generated world map as well. Each of these are different zones. They have different names up here if you look as I like hover over different ones. Blightvale Crag, Emberwood Wilds, you know, Red Dragon's Crag, Ironthorn Abyss, and hopefully those will be like more flavorful eventually. And then all the, you know, all the NPC ran towns and colonies and whatnot will be aware of what kind of zone they're in, you know, and the lore of the zone as well. What's the title of the game? My Project. That's the working title. Sorry, I just wanted to get down here and chop some trees for you guys. So I'm thinking it'll be something like Vanilla WoW plus RimWorld plus Hades is kind of what I'm going for. I missed the tree. I completely missed it. There we go. Good to see the website coming together. Thank you. Yeah, it's a pretty crazy looking website, I know. But yeah, that was dynamic tree chopping. Dynamic tree chopping. So it actually edits the mesh at runtime wherever the axe connects with it. And then you'll get wood in your inventory commensurate to like the volume of the chopped log. My Project is a great working title. Yeah, it's a popular one as well. Go check out that overhang. Yeah, we got the underground caves as well. That's a nice, that was a huge pain in the ass to get working. But once I nailed it, it was like fucking, ooh. It was like a fucking eureka moment, you know? I have 3 different compute shaders that I run for the terrain gen. I do a height map generation first, and then I do 3D noise, and then I do a custom marching cubes compute shader that kind of stitches them together, and it makes the 3D noise kind of punch through the height map, which is how we get sections like this. So, like, most of its height map that we look at on the surface here, which is just like a height map is, if you don't know, it's essentially if you just laid a blanket over something, like there's no overhangs or concavity, right? But we have overhangs here, and that's because we took the 3D noise, which looks like this, and we kind of just like let it punch through the height map. And so that's how we get like the exposed caves and whatnot. Sometimes it looks a little strange, but that's okay. I still like it. I think it's a good approach. Still need to do more with the terrain gen. I only have a few different terrain noises. I only have a few different biomes. Nothing exciting spawned in the caves yet. Do you sell courses teaching coding? No. I don't know that I feel very strongly about selling knowledge, because all the knowledge that I have ever gotten that has gotten me to this point has been free. So I feel like if I sold courses or something, I would be kind of a hypocrite. So yeah, I don't know that I believe in that too much, but maybe that'll change. We'll see. Is this like survival game? Yeah, there'll definitely be some survival elements in it. You know, there's tree chopping, destructible terrain as well. Let's see if I can get this to work. It kind of sucks. There we go. Destructible terrain. Look at that. It edited the terrain at runtime. It sucks, and it looks awful, and it's not useful. So, need to do some more work there. This map feels like a mix-up of old school RuneScape and Skyrim had a love child. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. I wasn't a huge RuneScape player back in the day, but I can respect it. I can respect it. It's lower resolution, but that's just for testing, so. Got some mushrooms here. I can eat food. Normally I could show combat, but there are no entities around to do so. There's a building system, you know, for all the trees you chop down. You can send your colonists to like go build things, but you'll actually need to like bring the resources to, you see that's like wood 0 out of 100. Like you need to actually bring the resources over there, and then you need to spend time building it. The time you spend on it will be dependent on your crafting or your construction skill. And so your colonists will have those skills as well. They'll be able to go chop trees, you know, and they'll have their own sets of skills. And I'm thinking like everyone can have like 2 specialties, maybe 2 or 3 specialties or something. We'll be on Steam or something. Probably. Yeah, we're pretty far away from that. Pretty far away from that. But I'm thinking everyone has like maybe 2 specialties or something for the skills. Like you can do all skills, but you can only like pursue like the super cutting edge, you know, deep trees of a couple different skills. And that way it makes the run-throughs different playthroughs different. The only one making this? Yes. This is just a hobby free time project for me. You never use cursor AI? No, I don't. Multiplayer? Hope so someday. Right now only the player is replicated, so I still need to do some work on that. So yeah, it'll be RPG Colony Sim Roguelite with procedural terrain. I will have AI generated quests, which I could probably, let's do a new seed here. We'll see if that was a good seed, so I doubt this seed will be more interesting. Oh yeah, it's just an ocean. So these are what my oceans look like. It's just completely flat, so that's a bad seed. I do account for that, but there's a limit on how much I account for it, so. Okay, here we go. Kind of flat, not too bad, not too bad. So I put these border mountain ranges around each zone to kind of create like a nice contained effect, kind of like a World of Warcraft zone, not so much like a Minecraft or Valheim zone. You can see these borders, like this is a different zone, this is a different zone, this is a different zone. And eventually they'll look quite different, right? They'll look quite different. But right now I only have like the one biome. Let's spawn a little colonist here. I can show some of the AI generated quests. And thank you for the sub. Welcome in. Welcome in. I appreciate that. Both of you guys. But yeah, here's a colonist. Hello, sir. Let me get it to change real quick. How long did it take you to get to this point? It's been almost 3 years. Okay, so this is... I'm going to generate a quest. And so what that's doing right now is sending an API request to the Gemini API. And I like dump my entire item database in there along with like everything spawned in the world, like all the character backgrounds that I'm about to read off. Like all of this information goes in there for every character that's in the world, you know, what zone they're in and stuff like that. And then I give it like a JSON object and I say, hey, fill out this JSON with a fantasy RPG video game quest. So this is Zia Weaver, 42-year-old female orc shaman who is honest and faithful. Zia was raised in a small, tight-knit community where she learned the ancient traditions of her people and the power of the spirits. Zia is a respected leader in her community, known for her wisdom, honesty, and unwavering faith in the old ways. So let's see what quest got generated for good old Zia Weaver here. So let's talk. And so we got the quest Whispers of the Valley. Here's like the quest log entry over here that's worded from the perspective of the player. And then her text is down here at the bottom. So I guess my name is Bryn Ironhold. So she says, Bryn Ironhold, I sense a connection to the wild within you. A kinship that speaks to the needs of this land. For many moons now, the spirits of the Whisperwind Valley have grown restless. The deer herds, usually plentiful, have thinned, and a strange thickness and a strange sickness touches the land. I believe the heart of the valley, a sacred grove where the earth's energy flows strong, is being tainted. And then I get some dialogue options here. Can you tell me more about the heart of the valley? It's a place of immense power, a source of life for this land. The spirits flow freely there, and it is said that those who are attuned with the earth can draw strength and guidance from its energy. It has always been a sacred place for my people. That's why it's concerning. You know, what signs do I look for? You know, all that stuff. But I've encoded like different objectives into that like AI prompt. And so we have objectives like go defeat something, go collect or like obtain something, build something, explore, interact with something, talk to someone. So we have like a bunch of different like quest actions that can happen, right? And so those get encoded into that JSON, and the AI is actually pretty good at picking it. And I use the Gemini API because they have the million context window, which a million tokens is essentially like 4 Game of Thrones novels. Like it's massive. That's a massive amount of context. And what I'll eventually do is just like pass in the entire lore of the game and the world and stuff like that. And so hopefully that'll lead to some more grounded quests and stuff like that. So yeah, I'll accept her quest. Thank you. And then with the zone names here, like these are all AI generated names as well. They don't really make a whole lot of sense. And you know, this is called the Seven Heavens. Like that doesn't make sense for the zone that I'm in right now. Twilight Hollow, that sounds like a cool name. Also probably doesn't make sense for what's shown there. Slumbering Giant, that's a terrible name. The Mermaid Lagoon of Tranquility. The Land of the Sirens, that one could be good. Dragonfire Plateau. So like eventually what I'll do with these zones is, first of all, where did my music go? Spotify. There we go. But I'll like be tagging all the stuff that a zone is made out of. Like there's different terrain noise parameters. Like this zone over here is very flat, so this is like a plainsy, meadowsy procedural zone. And then this one over here is like a, you know, it's got some hills and stuff like that. So, you know, I'll find some you know, promptable way to relay that to the AI. And then I'll pass it all the resources that are in the zone, all the mobs that get spawned into the zone. There's actually like this is my meadows biome over here as well. So we have like things like hemp, we have some sunflowers. I think there's flax somewhere around here, but we got the big trees, you know, it's not like a forest or anything. Some big rocks. There's some flax right there. There's some flax. So, you know, pass all those things in there along with any points of interest. I haven't done any procedural POIs yet, but we will get some like procedural, maybe like I want like a nice wizard tower, you know, like a nice dungeon or something spawned in here. I think that would be sick. And, you know, pass all that into the AI, let the AI come up with flavorful names. Like this one's literally called the Wizard's Tower, you know, like if there was a wizard tower in that zone, that would be fitting, right? That would be fitting. Whisperwind Refuge. And so hopefully like these zone names play into the world lore a bit as well. And I can pass those into the AI generated quests as well. And I think it'll create like really cool like storylines and stuff like that. There's a lot of work to like keep them grounded, as well as keeping his feet on the ground because my velocity processor is broken. The gravity is not gravitying, it seems. Is the map infinite or just limited? It is limited. It is limited. So each pixel on here is a terrain chunk. Each pixel is a terrain chunk. So if I like click on one, there's one pixel right there. If I zoom out 1, 2, 3, 4, it's about a 4 chunk radius. So we're only seeing about like this much right now. And then the world's that big. It's 15 kilometers. I'll probably make it smaller because I don't think you'll be interested as a player for exploring it for that long, and I want to leave room for any potential like, you know, DLCs or updates or something like that. So it's a big world, and what I want to do with the world is I actually want it running at all times, which is why I'm working on the ECS system today. Why I'm doing so many intensive performance improvements. Is because I want the whole world to be online. Like, if you were to create a colony right here, and then you run all the way over here, you know, I want your colony to still be running. If you send some guys out to the forest to go chop trees, they still have to run over there and chop the trees. The ECS system will work entirely on the background threads at that point of your processor, so very, very efficient. And it'll just be like moving little pieces of data around in memory. Like they still get velocity, you know, the nav mesh is still like, even when the terrain isn't there, the nav mesh is still in play. So I still do pathfinding. We still move entities along the paths. They still have to go chop the trees down. And if there's any bandits or wolves in the forest, like they will get attacked, you know, they will get attacked. And so that's the kind of realism that I want to bring into the world. And hopefully there's going to be other NPC colonies running in the world that'll create like different factions and different interactions. You know, your base will get raided. You can potentially raid someone else's base, you know. I'm hoping that running the entire world will make the world feel really alive. And so I do need to cap the world generation for that reason. Like I can't just infinitely generate that. We do need to cap it at some point. But I don't think you need an infinite generated world for it to be fun, you know. Like Minecraft's a great game, but like, you know, you don't need that to be infinitely generated, right? You building a game? Yes, that's what we're talking about. And this is very interesting. Thank you, and welcome in. Chonky McSchwoonsgale. That's a great name. That's a great name. Is this like some hardcore game where the player died permanently? Well, it's a roguelite, so when you die, you'll just go back to level 1. I'm thinking like as you level up every few levels, you'll get like 3 random abilities to choose from for your class. Like, and this will be like kind of like vanilla WoW classes, so lots of abilities to choose from. It's not one of those games where it's like you have 4 abilities and an ultimate. I hate that. I want a lot of choices to make in combat, both in and out of combat. So, you know, every few levels you get a pick from 3 random abilities. You'll start to create like a build for your character. There's going to be talent trees that are static, so you'll need to pick talents that are like, you know, useful or complementary to the abilities that you've rolled this run. And then when you die, you start over, like all your abilities go away and stuff like that. So it'll be a new build the next run. But the world state will still be the way you left it. And I'll probably do like a small time skip as well when you die. And so like any colony that you've built will still be there, but a time skip will happen. So maybe they get attacked. And if you didn't set up your defenses for your colony very well, then, you know, your colonist might be dead. sorry, but there's consequences in this game. But if you did set up the defenses well, you come back, and then maybe you had a really good blacksmith that you recruited last run, and that blacksmith can now make you really good gear at level 1. So there's a little bit of meta progression crossover with the Colony Sim system there. Then I'll also probably have some currency, you know, for roguelite meta progression. Not sure. I haven't really done any of the roguelite stuff yet, so not sure exactly what that would look like. That's kind of the flow of the game. Would Steam be restricting you for using AI in game? Yeah, I'm not sure what exactly the rules on that are. Not too worried about it right now because I'm pretty far away. Tapping in Justin Roy creating characters is basically, oh, look at me, I'm state character name. Look at me go. I'm just yeah. Justin Roiland is a character, isn't he? What are you developing on? This is Unreal Engine, C++ and Unreal Engine. Or the tech and software used in the build? Yeah, Unreal Engine. Unreal Engine. Textile held mana bars and even ability icons look like you stole them from Warcraft. Yeah, I'm borrowing some of the icons from WoW. Gotta have some placeholders. This though, this little portrait I created on my own. This is a homemade. It's a homemade one. But I think you'll realize like even some of the sounds. Yeah, borrowing some WoW sounds just for placeholders. Getting into Unity lately. It's natural your stream tracked me even though you're not real. Yeah, welcome in. Welcome in. Did you build this game? I did. Yes, this is the game that I'm working on. Man, I'm a sound designer. Could I possibly help? I want some more game audio experience. Yeah, maybe. I don't know if I'm quite ready for that yet, because I literally have no idea like what the vibe of the game. Like this is all placeholders stuff. So, you know, I don't even know really. I don't have a good idea of what like the vibe of the game is going to be, you know? So once I get to that point, I will definitely be looking, you know, for artists or sound designers or something like that, you know? But I think that's probably a couple years away. Probably at least a couple years away from that. Can you give us a vertical slice of the game? As in, like, explain it to you? I mean, or ship it. Shipping it, you know, don't hold your breath. Don't hold your breath. But yeah, that was a small AI-generated quest. Let's go 651. How much will it cost to build it? I have no idea. I have no idea. Not that far yet. Why did you choose C++? Because Unreal Engine is in C++. That is the only option for Unreal Engine. So here's like a red zone. Spiky red zone. It's just to display, you know, some of the different textures, of which there will be more. I don't blend them yet. Need to do that. Need to do that. Here's another seed. What zone are we in? We are in Whitecap Bay, which is supposed to be a mountain, which does not make sense. Barrow Downs, the Void of Nothingness, Emberwatch Refuge, the Mayan Jungle of Secrets, Stormshade Hollow. Like gameplay loop and narrative. Well, it's a RPG Colony Sim Roguelite. I've been explaining this, but I know you probably just came in. But RPG Colony Sim Roguelite, so I don't like to think in terms of a loop. I think that if you... Thanks for the subs, guys. Appreciate that. Welcome in. But I don't like to think too much in terms of a gameplay loop, because I think if you focus too much on that, your game design feels very formulaic and loopy, for lack of a better term. I'd rather come at it from the point of I create a world, there's things to do in the world, and then let the player form their own loop, right? But the systems that I have in the world, you know, RPG systems, something like Vanilla WoW, unique classes to choose from. Every class has unique abilities. You know, you choose one at the beginning of the game, a world gets generated for you, you can put in a seed or something like that, you know. And every few levels, you'll get a choice of 3 random abilities to start creating like a build. When you die, you will start over. But there are also talents. You'll get like a talent point every level. You'll start to, you know, pick talents that are complementary to the abilities that you've chosen. And I think what I'll do is I'll have the world difficulty scaling quite high, so that, you know, you really do need a good build to progress in the game. And, you know, it's unrealistic to do so without some form of meta progression from the roguelite system. So when you die, you know, you'll have some currency that you've collected in the world that you can spend that'll affect your next run. I have a building system. You'll start to build a colony. You can recruit colonists. You can send them to go chop trees, go mine ore, you can terraform if you want to, you know, forage, all that kind of stuff. Your colony will get raided. There'll be other NPC ran colonies in the world to interact with that create different factions and stuff like that. There'll be reputations with the different factions, social standings within the colony for the colonists. Colonists will... I'm going to play around with like running a local model, local LLM, and see how performance intensive that is, and see if I can just add a little bit of flavor to, like, you know, some dialogue or banter in the, you know, for the NPCs or something, you know. Stuff like that. Game name is my project. So no name yet. Do you have a visual and style in mind? No, that's what I was saying. I have no idea, really. I have no idea. I don't want, like... ultra realistic. I know that I don't want that. I also don't want default stylized, which is what this looks like right now. I don't want the fucking Fortnite stylized, you know? Like, I want something in between the two, probably. Or example game that has a look similar to what you want. Yeah, I don't know. I would, like, obviously I would prefer it to be completely unique to where there's not, you know, another game that can be used as an example, but that's probably more expensive, so. I am partial to, like, kind of darker games. So something like Diablo. Like, I think the Diablo 2 remaster was really good. Like, I really like those graphics. Diablo 4 graphics are very good as well. Diablo 3, too cartoony for me. But I am partial to that, so maybe that's where I'll start. Why Unreal and not Unity, and are you a solo dev? Yes, I am a solo dev. Why Unreal? Because Unity pricing model sucks. The CEO has shown that, you know, it's not really a company to be trusted with the pricing model that they chose. So the Unreal Engine pricing model is a lot more generous. Unreal Engine has visual scripting. So, you know, if I ever were to have designers on the game, they don't need to know how to write code, right? I like that. I also like being able to use the visual scripting just for myself. I like having that choice, even though I routinely talk about how much I hate blueprints, which is what the visual scripting system is. I still like having that option. I see Unreal Engine as being closer to the cutting edge of game development, and so I want to be a part of that as well. And so for those reasons, I chose Unreal over Unity. And oh yeah, and source code access, that's like the biggest one. Like, you don't get access to the source code with Unity without paying like thousands of dollars, which is fucking stupid. Like, how on earth can you make a game without the source code to the engine? Like, being able to debug the engine and figure out how things work by looking at the source code, like being able to base your code off some of the source code and how they do things there, like, that's so invaluable. So yeah, I would never want to use Unity for that reason. I would never want to ship a game with Unity, I'll say. Have you programmed in C# too? A little bit, yeah. Which do you prefer? I don't, like, there's no language like I prefer, really. They're just tools to get the job done, right? So whatever gets the job done. And for game dev, that's C++. For Unreal Engine game dev, that tool is C++. Want help in the game art related stuff like 3D models and stuff? Yeah, eventually, definitely. Like I said, I have no idea what I want, so I don't even know how to, like, talk about visuals, right? Like, I need to understand the nomenclature a bit better, right? What game is this? It's just a game I'm working on. Just a game I'm working on. How long have I been working on? About almost 3 years now. What are your main ideas for the game? Yeah. If you rewind in the stream, I have been talking about it nonstop. I know you just got in here. I'm not gonna explain it for again though, but RPG Colony Sim Roguelite combo is what I'm going for. That's the long story short. Blueprints versus C++ question mark. What are you asking? What is the question? Oh, that was not what I wanted. Oh, and now my swing is broken. Yeah, the torch is broken. I just broke my swing. Anyways. If you're spamming jump, trying to get around faster, why not just increase sprint speed? I mean, I'm just running around. I'm not, like, trying to get anywhere, right? I assume you mean for, like, development purposes. Like, I don't know, I'm not trying to get anywhere, so I don't really need to increase the speed or anything. Look at this nice cave. Look at that. Some of the chunks aren't generated, but it looks nice. It looks nice. Where was that at? It's right there. Right there. Watching the terrain generate is so satisfying. I agree. I think it's very fun. Just like exploring seeds, and it'll only get more and more interesting as well. Oh, Jesus. Okay, I didn't mean to run off the edge there. Ow. No fall damage yet. Yeah, nothing super exciting in the caves yet. Eventually they'll have, like, ore down here to go get stuff like that. I think I'll probably make the ore deposits like pretty large, so that you can like set up, maybe I want to facilitate setting up like little outposts and stuff like that. So I think if you need to spend longer on each like ore deposit to get some ore, then that would incentivize setting up like a temporary mining outpost or something. Sending some colonists down there. There I go. Oh, I fell through the world. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It's just gonna keep generating. Just gonna keep going. Goodbye, cruel world. Okay. Yeah, it's not gonna like that, is it? It's not gonna like that. Let's go ahead and rebuild. So I was in the middle of doing an ECS refactor for the game, so let's get back to that. Yeah, it's annoying because I still need to do the enable or disable actor here. So the equipment data is actually not going to help all that much. But potentially, it may in other places. Let me look here. Need to change some of these. Weapon ability, probably. Executability, that's one for sure. Although proxy actor, we probably still need it here. Oh no, we don't. So we can just directly get, we can go get, I can see my own keyboard. So we're gonna get entity data for F, equipment entity data, nice. So equip data. Now this is returning a pointer, correct? Yes. So if equip data, if there is no equip data, or as equipped items. What's your expected timeline for game development? At least 20 years. At least 20 years. Equip data, what am I saying? Wait, what is on here? Oh, F equipment entity data. Wrong one. So equip data. Equipment component is valid. There we go. Okay, so equip data. Then I will need to actually like pin the equipment component. Pin it. Pin it, please. Okay, equipment component. If equipment component and blah 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 blah. Yeah, okay, that's good. That's good. That's probably. I think that's probably the only place I can help there. Okay. So let's find, we're gonna do the same thing, but with inventory. Inventory component, which I've already set up. Get owner, character, interacting actor. Yeah, maybe we can't. Maybe there's no place for that. What were all the build issues here? Oh, Jesus. Or equipment. Oh yeah, I need to actually get the equipment here. Equipment. Equipping. Okay. Let's build that again. Nice, we love gas. Yeah, I'm actually probably going to rewrite it. As I've done with every system here. Use of undefined type equipment component. Okay, so I'll need to import that. So what is that? It's probably in my like character. Hello, please. Equipment components. Where are you? I mean, I can just fucking click here. Okay, what folder are you in? You are in item. That's a. Why did I put it in item? A weird place to put it. But yeah, gas is not performant enough for my ECS system. Like right now, my biggest bottleneck, well, before I did the refactor, the biggest bottleneck was combat. I could have like 10,000 entities running in the world. But the biggest bottleneck was combat, so I could only have about 200 of those entities in combat before, you know, the game was just running at like 20 FPS. And that was with pretty much everything running on the background thread. Like, so much of gas needs to run on the gameplay thread, so... ECS is Entity Component System. It's like a data-driven architecture to like efficiently run, you know, thousands and thousands of NPCs and stuff like that. So games like RTSs use these kinds of systems because they need like a lot of units on screen and stuff like that. For me, I just want to run the whole world, so that's why I'm doing it. This man clearly works for Blizzard. No, I do not. I did apply once, but they rejected me. That was a long time ago. So we did build. Now, I need to update the archetype information. So the character entity data, yeah. The spawn default equipment, let's just give him like a mace here. Main hand, yeah. Mace. Appreciate the subs, guys. Welcome in. Oh my goodness, thank you guys. Might have to turn that sound. Does that sound a little loud? It sounds a little loud to me. Default inventory items, I don't think you need anything in your inventory. Okay, so let's go to the test level now. Entity spawner. Do we just go 2000? No, let me just go. Yeah, we'll go 2000. Fuck it. So I'm running everything on the game thread now, so it's quite a bit slower than it was before. But the individual processors are running so much faster. So we're spawning, guys, so it's a little slower here. I'll get about like 20 FPS when they all finish spawning. There we go. So show me, join my colony, show me your inventory. Well, no, I need to actually inspect you. Yeah, so yeah, you do still have the equipment and stuff. Okay. Yeah, that change did work. There we go. Look at them all. My slaves, I mean colonists. My colonists. Okay. What? So I've done the underlying ECS refactor from, I was using UObjects, which is like, don't do that for an ECS system. I was just doing that to like get a better idea of what I needed and to make it really easy to work on background threads. So part of an ECS system is processor cache locality, which UObjects are not going to be able to take advantage of that. So I was leaving a lot of performance on the table. I changed to using structs. That came with a lot of difficulties, but we replaced that underlying architecture with just structs that automatically just made a performance improvement, but it made things running on the background thread really hard. So I had to put like mutexes everywhere. And then I changed to like, I was doing like entity data pools. So there's like a data pool for each type of data, and then it keeps track of what entities have that data. Then I switched, yesterday and the day before, I was switching to an archetypal approach where I store the different combinations of data that entities have. And then every entity that has that combination is tracked by the archetype. And so that sped things up even more. And so post that, now I just need to go back through and like, the way I was writing this, like doing stuff like this, where I'm just kind of ad hoc getting the entity data, is no longer the way I want to do it anymore. That is no longer the way I want to do it anymore. So I want to do something more like this. So this is how I should be doing it now, with the changes that I've made. I should be using this function, which is a little, it's a little garbo. the syntax is a little garbo here, but you see, I'm like passing in what data types I need. And so it's like, give me every entity that has these data types, and it'll be like, okay, it calls this function back. This is I pass in a lambda here as the next parameter. But it'll give me all the entities, and it'll give me all the arrays of the data for those entities. And so I should be doing this. This is what I should be doing. Now, I think one thing I still need to figure out a good way to handle is optional data, which I do use in several places. That's gonna be a problem. But I need to, I guess I'm doing some things in like tick functions. I shouldn't be doing that. I should move these tick functions to processor processes, right? Everything's running on the game thread now, so it doesn't matter, essentially. It doesn't matter. But I want to keep it as close as possible to the structure that I had before, so that I can do a more strict comparison between the two, you know? So I can actually see, because I have these tables here. that I made. Here we go. So this is like before, right? These are my before refactor for 2K entities. You know, something like the move to max milliseconds 135, average was 30, median 34 milliseconds to run the move to. Now where am I at? 29 milliseconds max, 13 average, 13 median, basically. So I cut that. I've reduced it by more than half. And for some of these, like the LOD processor was taking like 4 milliseconds on average. Now the LOD processor is taking 0.45. It's taking 400 microseconds, right? So we've already, and like this one, the representation processor, look at that. Fucking 5, I don't even know what that is. What unit is that? 5 microseconds? Like it's very, some of these are very fast now. Like these ones are like purely data. They run so fucking fast because of it really takes advantage of all of the cache locality stuff. So those ones are awesome. The velocity processor is, the target processor is my worst one. That's running on a background thread right now. And that's because it's doing like a nested loop, right? And so that's like, even though I have my entity chunk processor, which partitions the entities into a grid, and then I only need to check the, you know, the local gridded entities when I do like it's basically for aggro, right? Like when you run into range of a hostile enemy, he needs to know that you're within range. So every frame I need to iterate over all of the local entities and check if there's any hostile targets within range that I need to go attack, basically. So that's what the target processor is doing. That's the worst one. I somehow broke my velocity processor. It is not working properly. So I had to rewrite velocity and gravity into a processor as well. So that one's a little disgusting, and that one needs like a significant overhaul now. So here's that one. Like here's where the loop starts, and we're just gonna keep scrolling. We're just gonna keep scrolling. And there's where it ends. It's like fucking, it's like a function that's like 200 lines long. Oh my God, even more. It's like, I don't know, does it tell me? Does it tell me 240 line breaks? Oh my God, it's 240 lines. So yeah, that needs a significant refactor. I actually moved some of the stuff that was in the move to processor, which calculates how entities should move along a path in response to pathfinding queries, and it'll add input velocity, and then the velocity processor takes the input velocity, adds it to the actual velocity, and then updates the transform. That needs a significant change. Is it worth it to go into the game dev industry if you want to make big money? No. No one would tell you that. Could not be any more the opposite. Let's start with UE5 instead of learning Unity first. That just kind of depends on how confident you are. You know, if you're confident in your programming abilities, which from your previous comment it sounds like you might be. I don't see it. You know, I think Unreal Engine C++ is a little bit more approachable than regular C++. Personally, there are some deep concepts that I've been learning about in the past few weeks for this entity system that are quite challenging. But yeah, I see no reason for beginners to not get into Unreal Engine, especially because there's blueprints. Like those are very approachable as well. So blueprints in C++. I see no reason to. I'll be honest. I see no reason to use Unity. Like the downsides to using Unity are too big. No source code, terrible pricing model, you know, terrible business as well. I get that it's easier to pick up because there are less systems. I get that. But Unreal Engine is quite powerful. So once you learn the Unreal Engine systems, like you'll be off to the races. It's just a steeper learning curve. But I think it's worth it in the long run, especially if you're passionate about it and this is something you want to do, right? Whether it's you know, as a job or a hobby, you know, I see no reason not to use Unreal Engine just because it's intimidating. How can I find if someone downloaded a key tracker to my laptop from a link online? Buddy, if you're worried about someone having a keylogger on your machine, you need to take your laptop to a shop that can fix it. No random game dev streamer is going to be able to help you with that. Just wondering what you think about Godot on that matter. Did you try? I haven't tried Godot, but that would be probably my next choice if I didn't use Unreal Engine. But yeah, I just saw Unreal Engine as being like, one, the visual scripting was one reason that it has over Godot, and then the I see it as the technology that Unreal Engine has is closer to the forefront, closer to the cutting edge of game development. So that's why I wanted to learn it. How versatile is Unreal Engine? Depends on how good you are at C++. It's as versatile as you are good at coding. What would you recommend for me if I want to make big money? Either go into big tech or go into like prop firms, like algorithmic trading algorithms. Yeah, so like a hedge fund. Those are like the highest paying ones. Why'd you choose to write your own ECS, or are you extending mass? I chose to write my own ECS for understanding and flexibility. And I tried to use mass at first, and you could probably go back. I probably have some VODs on my channel of me complaining about mass as I'm working on it on stream. So I don't remember exactly. I'd have to go back and watch those VODs myself. But like, I just found it really difficult to work with. And the documentation was not great at the time. I think it's gotten a little bit better, but I just found it really hard to work with, and I couldn't get it to do what I wanted it to do. And it seemed to always block the game thread. And so I couldn't have like async processes just run purely async and just have these long running background tasks. And the whole trait and fragment system that they have was like really difficult to get working because they were like constantly conflicting with each other. So that was really difficult. And like, if you look at the mass source code, it is like so fucking abstracted. There's like a million classes and a million APIs that they have within the mass, like just architecture. And it's just so complicated. Like, and like my ECS system right now has like 4 classes, maybe 5 classes, right? Very, very, very easy to understand. Well, easier to understand, I'll say. Don't you see the error on line -1? Oh, fuck. Yeah, if there's an error on line -1, we've got bigger issues. We got bigger issues here. Something's very wrong. The world is probably ending if that's the case. But anyway, what I need to do with the ECS system now is basically go through and just kind of split apart my data, because having very small, compact pieces of data for the entity data system is important, because it can take advantage of the cache locality even more. So that's kind of what I'm doing. I've been splitting apart data that I don't need at runtime into this like default entity data that is merely just there for like determining spawning, right? Like, what does it spawn with? That kind of thing. Love the visual scripting UE, but the simplicity and flexibility of Godot is quite enjoyable too. Yeah. A lot of people like, you know, I'm part of the game dev community over on Twitch. For those who aren't aware, there's a software and game development section on Twitch. A lot of Godoters there. A lot of Godoters there, and they seem to enjoy it. Is this Rust? No. All right. I don't have any cat ears, so I don't think I'm allowed to use Rust. As much as I would want to. Okay, so I think this is, let's go ahead and commit this, just get it clean. No, don't roll it back. Almost rolled everything back. That would have been a disaster. This is going to be split out default data for equipment and inventory entity data. So we're just going to do that real quick. Let's get a nice clean slate to work on here. What language is it? Java. No, it is C++. Good luck coding and streaming at the same time. Thank you. I enjoy it. I enjoy both parts of it. Oh, we got some extra imports here. ECS as an elastic container service. No, as an entity component system is what it stands for. It's a data-driven architecture for running thousands and thousands and thousands of entities at a time. Okay, so let's, how do I want to like audit this and break this apart now? Thank you for the sub, Taylor. Welcome in. Welcome. Looks a lot like C#. Yeah, Unreal Engine C++ looks a little bit different. Everything's Pascal case, which I hate, but is what it is. I did just split out the anim data as well. Let me just take a peek at Where are my processors at? Entity ISM processor. I think the avatar data is probably my next contender for like shittiest, good God. My unused imports. It's my next contender for shittiest entity data here. I don't know why do I have show world context pen on this? That doesn't make sense. So there's just a lot of data here that's not used every time. Some of this actor class, I guess this actually is used at runtime. Actor class, it is a tsoft class pointer. This is for adding an attachment, okay. And then yeah, of course, when we switch to actor, we grab from the actor pool with that class. So that is, yeah, that is used at runtime when switching between vertex animated static mesh and actor skeletal mesh. The actor offset and radius, I think that could probably be split out. And then I was thinking about making interaction data, which could actually be quite useful. That's literally only used in one spot. Literally only used in one spot. So yeah, we can split that out too. Actor representation, that's the actual pointer to the actor. Okay, so I think let's at least get these out of here. Let's get those out of here. This is avatar entity data, so this is supposed to be for like information that dictates what the entity is represented by, right? That's what an avatar means, I think. I don't know. Never asked. But I'm thinking maybe like the radius and offset. Offset is just used basically for the ISM. So maybe I should just put that on ISM data. I think the ISM data is pretty large already though. But if it's going to be used, regardless. Now this one, I should move that one probably to the anim state, to the anim data now. This is an attachment processor. So I would actually need to, yeah, I would need to add the anim data here. But I could get rid of the, ooh, I need the ISM transform there as well. Which framework is this? This is Unreal Engine. Unreal Engine code here. Yeah, that one probably isn't going to get much better. What did I do? Oh, I deleted some imports and it made this file go all bad. Okay. This one, would this get any better? ISM data. The custom data. Ugh. Yeah, I mean, the ISM and the anim stuff is so tightly coupled. Like, there's no way that it's going to be... There's no way that that's going to be... Yeah, I don't know. It kind of makes sense to put the anim state with the rest of the anim data, but like, I don't think it actually makes any of these better. I think probably the best part... Yeah, that one's not going to be that much better. Where was that at? That was ISM entity data. So what I'm saying is that that should be a T-weak object pointer. What I'm saying is that I should put this, the actor offset, on the ISM. Actor rate. This is used all over the place, right? No. Get pawn radius is. That is just on the ability system component. Get entity pawn radius and some utils files. Or cast projectile velocity, yeah. What do I want to do with this information here? I mean, this is like representation level data, but I just don't think actually moving this would make a difference with how I have things set up now. And maybe this is where I just need to start splitting apart my processors into different processors. I think I can at least split this one out, because that's literally only used in one spot. So let's just do that. Let's just start hacking away. Data types, we're gonna do, this is going to be interaction entity data, probably. Something like that. My entity data. Okay, and then let's just move that over there. Interaction distance buffer. So this is going to be one that we actually need to like register. Yeah, we actually need to register this one. This is going to be, I guess I can put other things on here for whether or not the entity is interactable and what should happen when the entity interacts. I think that does make sense to have as a registered data type. And the difference for an entity data that is registered or not is that like whether or not it gets added to the archetype for use at runtime. Unregistered entity data is just for like spawning, basically. My entity subsystem. There we go. So yeah, we got to do this thing, which is kind of nasty. Try to keep it. Ooh, interactable blacklist data. I can put it on that one too. INT interaction. So it should go after this one. Okay. Are you employed in the sprint development process at Google? I mean, do you work by agile process at your job at Google? We'd like to act like we do, but we actually work quite waterfall. I've tried. Believe me, I have tried. Okay, so we have that data there. It gets registered. I guess I'll need to add that on the archetype as well. Which is this is a very annoying thing that I have to do every time, but there is a reason to it. There is a reason. Okay, so that's there. We'll need to populate that. There's like that one spot. Where was that one spot that it was used at? Can you show me, compiler, please? I said one spot, and what I've gotten is more than one, so we can forward declare that. That's fine. What's the issue here? Not convert argument 1. What? What on earth is happening here? It's called OBS Zoom Follow Mouse. If you just Google search that, I'm sure you'll find the script that I use. Okay, so here's the one spot. Interaction data. F entity interaction data. F interaction entity data. There we go. There we go. Okay. What is this complaining about? Okay, I get that. I get that. Okay. So yeah, that's not going to be like that big of a performance improvement. It's really just taking a whack at this one piece of entity data, which is just feels super awkward. Okay, so the actor offset, really what this means is this is really ISM offset is what I'm trying to say here. So it's the offset of the actor in relation to I guess in relation to 0, 0 for everything, because like the 0, 0 on the actor is like at the crotch, which is like half height. I can just show what I'm talking about here. So like character is with my base character class. And so in the viewport, where is viewport? In the viewport, I have an offset here, right? He is rotated by 90 degrees, and also he's moved. You see the bottom of him is down there, right? So he's offset. And so when I change him to an ISM, I need to know that offset. I also need the actor radius as well. So this is like half height. I can get the half height from this, and then I can get the actor radius as well. Those are like, I almost kind of want to put this in like a entity bounds type piece of data. Does that make sense? But then I think that means I'm just going to have more data types to like worry about. I don't know that actually splits apart any. I don't know that splits apart any processing very well. And I call it actor radius, but I should probably just let's go ahead and do it. Let's just fucking do it. I'm sitting here yapping about it. Let's just do it. Okay, we're gonna call this bounds entity data. Is that what I want? Bounds? Is it bounds? The actor offset. Hang on, let me look at this a little bit. Half height is the negative. Yeah, okay. Offset is, that's actually not necessarily true, I think, but it just kind of happens to be for this case. So I don't know if I want to keep doing that or not, actually. I guess Yagni, right? I don't know that I'm going to need it, so let's just keep doing it here. What IDE are you using? Gameon, welcome in. This is Rider by JetBrains with the Darkula theme. What bounds entity data? I mean, hitbox entity data. I think we'll just go with bounds. Was my gut. I have to try it. I'm near my wit's end with VS 2022, freezing and being slow. Oh yeah, dude. Once you Rider's, by the way, free for non-commercial use. If you're doing game dev in Unity or Unreal, you're gonna wish you'd switch sooner. Oh, is it the same ECS that Unity is releasing in their new update? No, this is an ECS I'm making in Unreal Engine. F my entity data, gotta import that. Let's move everything over. Back. Yeah, give me that. Bounds entity data. Might as well just grab the functions as well. Just to keep it consistent. Avatar to entity transform after representation get transform. Oh, this is, do I use this? Interesting. No, I don't. Okay, delete it. Great. Okay, we can get rid of this. So yeah, what is the debug information I need here? Basically nothing. The debug information is kind of useless for this guy. Kind of useless. Entity to avatar transform. I guess I do use that. It's kind of a weird place to keep it. But we'll leave it there just for simplicity. I don't know, why am I forward declaring that? That makes zero sense. I don't need UObject there either. Let's move this into the .cpp file as well. Okay. I think we can, yeah, get rid of transform data there. We'll import it over here. Okay, we're cleaning things up. Cleaning it up. The world is healing. The world is healing. I do use this one, right? Yeah, that gets used. Okay. If we have an active movement component. And thanks for the subs, guys. Acer, Joshua, Jeet Quest, Taylor, Metal Wolf. Thank you guys and welcome in. Let's see here. Let us see here. Now I need to, okay, just tell me where it hurts. Show me where it hurts. Point to my code. point to the position on my code where I hurt you. It's like everywhere. Oh god. It hurts all over. Okay. So I think for function parami boys, I can just forward declare that. I mean, I need to do more forward declares. I started my project without understanding how to use forward declarations, and now it's a mess. What slur would you use to describe vibe coders? Oh, what would I like? It's got to be like the clankophobes or something, because like it's so funny that like clanker is becoming the slur for like AI stuff. So it's got to be something clanker related. I don't condone slurs, by the way. We're just joking around, having fun. Okay, this all got fixed as well. Okay, what's happening here? Yeah. Okay, so I don't think I need avatar data here anymore. We need the F bounds entity data, which I will need to add. Bounds data. Bounds data's F bounds entity data. Bounds data dot actor offsets. Yeah, I guess we need to import that. Okay. Before I forget, let's add that to the entity archetype, which where the hell did I put that? I should pin that. So close. Give me my archetype, my entity archetype. Give me. So you need to go the F bounds data, yeah. So this is F bounds entity data. Include it. Bounds entity data. That will need to be registered. We can close spawner for now. Okay. Nice. Let's clean it up. Clean it up. F bounds entity data. Cool. So that's going to be there. Let's rebuild again. Show me now where it hurts. Show me now where it hurts. Where did my code hurt you? I know I've hurt you so much in the past. I promise I'll never do it again. Okay, come on. Okay, good. Yes, actor data is now F bounds entity data. Yes. Bounds data. Okay, here as well. Get pawn radius. Okay, so let's just copy that. Copy pasta, get pawn radius. Now this actually I should probably refactor to using the utils version, but actually I needed, yeah, okay, never mind. We're not gonna refactor too much. We're migrating. We don't do refactors while we migrate, because that just makes things more complicated than it needs to be. Bounds data. Okay. Yeah, resnactor that. Bounds data. F bounds entity data. Import that. Update the declaration. Bounds data. Okay, we need both actually, because I need the actor class. Yeah. Okay. Does it need to be? Ooh, okay, yeah. So we're gonna do F avatar entity data. That needs to be a ref. That needs to be a ref, but bounds data does not. So let's actually put that there. That nice and clean. Update that declaration. Bounds data. this, we'll need to update it in here. So switch to actor. This is on tick. We do have the avatar data pointer, but we need bounds data here now too. Bounds data pointer. If we don't have, I guess bounds isn't like strictly necessary, but like I just know that it is. All my entities are going to have it, so I don't think I need to worry about if it's not actually there. We're just doing that as a safety check. That can be const. Okay. Now, where else does it hurt? There's probably a lot of imports I don't need in some of these files. Now, that one's fine. What am I building? This is for a video game. I'm building an ECS system. Well, really refactoring an existing one. Refactoring one I wrote a long time ago. Thank you for the sub, Henriksen. Appreciate you. Appreciate everyone hanging out. Okay, we have more. There was more work to be done. F bounds entity data. There we go. Basically same thing here. Okay. Last but not least. Last but not least. Okay, can we build now? Can we compile? We'll do some. I think maybe this is worth doing some performance profiling on. See if we got any better here. See, it's good to, you know, when making these kinds of changes. I think it's good to kind of performance profile after every few changes. That way we can see if we're making positive improvements or not. Just to kind of confirm some assumptions. Yo, dude, what are you making? I am making an RPG Colony Sim Roguelite with procedural terrain, destructible terrain, and AI-generated quests in Unreal Engine. We're looking at C++ right now. I'm working on an ECS system. An ECS system stands for Entity Component System, and it's just a data-driven architecture that takes advantage of processor cache locality to run thousands and thousands and thousands of NPCs. So this is it's an architecture that's been used in many games. You know, RTSs I think probably is the genre that uses it the most consistently, because there needs to be tons of units on screen for an RTS. But I am doing it because I want to simulate the entire world. I want to run the entire world. So that's why I'm using it. Yeah, so let's go ahead and run. Now I'm running everything on the game thread, so it is a bit slower than it usually is. Okay, everything's broken. Everything. Okay, I have no bounds. I need to add the bounds and the interaction entity data. Bounds, I didn't have it. Actor radius was 30. Location -92. This is what, -90, if I'm not mistaken. Going to go back to my character base. Viewports. Rotation is -90. Mesh -92. Okay. 111. Okay. Yep. There we go. Yeah. When we're spawning, it's a little slower. So we're gonna wait for everything to spawn first. Dude, oh my god, I'm gonna pull my hair out about this issue. Bro, I have tried to troubleshoot this so fucking much, and I'm so upset. I am so upset. I thought I fixed this issue. Oh my god. Okay, we're just gonna. This is super inconsistent. Also, why are you saying that you can't compile there? That's very weird. Very weird. So this fucking LOD data issue is like the death of me, man. This stupid LOD data, for some reason, like doesn't get copied correctly when like the entity data gets added. And I've like tried to do all this like fancy move semantic stuff. Complete with like this like, hey, make sure you don't use mem copy and use my actual fucking copies. it still cannot copy this like this. It's this subset T array. It's this thing right here for some reason, like inconsistently cannot get copied. And then when we get down here, when we try to loop over that data, it's like invalid. And I have tried so many things to fucking fix that. I have no idea. I'm about to just like change the data structure to where I just don't have to worry about it rather than fix the actual issue. Try turning on the combobulator. Oh, okay. Is that next to? Oh, I'm running low on prefabulated amulite, so the combobulator hasn't been running up to par. Hey, the super chat. Oh, that's kind of messed up. But thank you for the super chat. Good luck for your game. Thank you so much, Maxi Panda Games. I appreciate that. Thank you. And thank you for the super chat. I need to fix that alert because that did not look good. Let me write that down. Let me write that down. Fix super chat alert text. Yeah, that text did not look no good, did it? I appreciate you though. Thank you. Okay, this literally happened again. Usually it's a lot more inconsistent than that. I might just, instead of using an array of LODs, like I might just hard code this shit to get around it, you know? I wanted it to be a little bit more scalable to where I could have an array of these LOD information so I could like, you know, maybe I want to switch to a different actor at a certain distance, you know? Why the hell did New York people just flood your game? What are you talking about? You know, I'm a 5-year experience MERN developer. That's a good stack. Started in embedded programming. What you're doing is inspiring to me since I love gaming so much, but too lazy to get into gaming dev. But amazing. Hey, you should. Hey, you should. You should try it out. It's it's like the most fun programming I think that there is out there. I'm a little biased, but I think all programmers would enjoy doing a little bit of game dev. Hobby time game dev, you know. What happens if you get caught using ChatGPT at work? Well, I think they'd prefer me to use Gemini for obvious reasons, but yeah, they encourage that. They want everyone to use AI. Dude, this is happening every time now. Like, what? I was running this all day yesterday. It only happened a few times. This is happening every time now. Honestly, the only stream I'll ever be able to watch. This is so chill while you're crashing out on bugs. The streamer, he has the chillest crash outs I've ever seen. Thank you, though. I appreciate that, Pain. Pain, I feel that. I feel that right now. I am feeling the pain. Let me see. Is the LOD data correct here? Like, we have it. It's here. Okay, yeah, I might just fucking rewrite this. Okay, let's just, okay, get rid of it all. Get rid of it all. Get rid of it. I'll keep that struct in, but basically what we're gonna do, where it is to nearest player. Yeah, that's all still gonna be there. Should have, basically just give me this. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna get rid of the array. We're not gonna have to worry about the array anymore. Okay, so avatar data class, get rid of that. B should be actor. B should be ISM. So really what I just need here is render out of view. That's still fine. What size is this data? 32. Okay. Max dist from player. What do I have that set to? So really I just need 2 distances. This is like, so now this is getting a lot less flexible is what I'm doing here. So we're gonna have dist. What is the dist called? Dist from player, like actor dist from player. It's max actor dist from player. Sure, we can default that, yeah. Then I'll say max ISM dist from player, which I have set to 12,000, and then render out of view, false. Yeah, okay, so we now no longer are going to do this loop. I'm just going to comment it out. Some ye olde source control, current LOD. What do I use that for? Basically nothing. Okay, basically nothing. LOD data, I need to like redo this part basically. So we need square max distance, square max dist. Let's say square max actor disk. LOD data dot that max ISM dist from player. If it's less than that, then should have actor equals true. Should have ISM false. And then do we need to break? No, I think we can just fall through. Oh, and I need to wrap this if B is in view. And they both get set to false, so I really only need to do that. And then we can do an else if here. Well, let's just do else here. We'll do this. There we go. Okay, rebuild. Okay, we're just gonna get rid of that issue once and for all, and just ignore whatever problem caused it that I don't understand. Surely nothing bad will happen. What's the specs of your PC to build like you're doing? I mean, you don't need like crazy specs to do what I'm doing. But like I have a 7700X processor and a 3080 Ti, 64 gigs of RAM. RAM is really what you want for game dev. That helps the most, I think. You should run the game with address sanitizer on if your IDE allows that. I have no idea what that means. Seeing you delete all those lines hurt me. Gemini is legit so good. I make After Effects scripts and I got to build a 1100 line code in one generation, and miraculously it was almost perfect. Yeah, dude, like especially if you use, like that is my choice. Like I used it a little bit for like talking about entity stuff. And like make sure you go to the AI Studio one. Like go aistudio.google.com. It's like the best AI that you can get for free, and it rivals, you know, the ones that you can pay for from like OpenAI and Claude and stuff. Like I don't think you'll notice a difference between GPT-5 and Claude 4 and Gemini 2.5 Pro. If you're using the AI Studio interface, if you use the chat interface, it's not as good. If you're using gemini.google.com, it's not as good. So use AI Studio, and yeah, you'll get that fucking 1100 line generation. Like, I literally like passed it all of my entity data system, and yeah, it gave me some pretty good suggestions and stuff to go after as well. So I have used it a little bit for the ECS refactor. Usually I don't really vibe code or prompt that much, but it was nice. It was nice to have someone to talk to about it, basically. It actually taught me quite a bit about variadic template metaprogramming in C++, which is something, that's a term I didn't even know about before. Okay, so we're not crashing anymore. That's great. So let's run a little profile here. Okay, we're just gonna let this soak for a little bit. But I am biased when it comes to Gemini, you know. I do have to admit my bias there. It makes sense if they start pushing for AI in the industry as well, considering how good it is now. I mean, yeah, I mean, the Google's mission is literally to build like, it's like, I mean, all these companies are trying to build a super intelligence. So it's like, yeah, you have to like, you have to like get your employees to use that, you know, to get behind like the mission of it, which I understand. Unfortunately, the tools surrounding it for the agentic coding aren't very good yet, but the model, the underlying model is quite good. The super chat, or Mars Caster, thank you for, I sent without message. Oh, and it just said, thank you for your donation. Well, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. It's very kind. Thanks for the support today, guys. Thanks for the support. Okay, so we've ran for a little bit. Open that up. Stop that. Yeah, the LOD issue is a memory copy issue, but I'd kind of debugged it already a little bit. I'm sure Ryder has something like that built in. Too many things to manage: audio, graphics, logic, AI, animation design, a lot more, way too much, and I am more of a logic guy than creative one. Crying just thinking about it. Hey, I mean, me too though. I'm not an artist, right? But there are tons of free assets, like Unreal Engine has like Fab, and Fab has like free for the week, free for the month assets that you can just get, and they're free forever. Like if you get them during that week, they're free forever. Reanimated Man, thank you for the sub over on Twitch. 7 months around here, on and off. How's your progress on the game? It's going well. We're still working on like very foundational changes. But what I've been working on recently is the ECS refactor. So I had the ECS system working before, and we were getting, you know, some decent performance because I was just running everything on the background threads. I was basically just using U objects for my entity data. But you're not supposed to do that for an ECS system. That's not, you lose cache locality there. Oh my God, the support guys, the super chat. I'm sorry about the super chat pop-up not. I can read it. But thank you for the support again, Mars. I appreciate you guys. But yeah, I switched from U objects to structs for the entity data. That made it a lot harder to do background thread things. But like, I literally, some of the processors, like I halved in performance, right? Like some of the like velocity processor is now running at a median of 14.3 milliseconds. It was 25 milliseconds. So a lot of these like just got cut almost in half. They almost all got cut in half, right? I appreciate the support today, guys. I appreciate you. So yeah, working on the ECS refactor. It's going well. We're trying to like just go through and like split up all the entity data that I had before that was like in really large chunks. You need like really small pieces of entity data, right, to take advantage of the cache locality. And so like I was basically doing everything wrong before, but I was doing it because like I needed a better understanding of like what I needed out of an entity system. Because I didn't know like all the gameplay logic that I would need. And using U objects made it really easy to work with. And I just kind of you know, used car salesman slaps roof of background thread. This bad boy can fit so much unoptimized code in it. So that's what I did, right? And it worked. It was working pretty well. I could get up to like 10K entities running, maybe at like 30 FPS for 10K, which, you know, isn't terrible. 2K entities, I was running like a dream. Most of them were on the background thread and stuff. But yeah, everything now, like this is my whole like processor loop here is what we're looking at. Like this section right here is basically all my processors, except for my target processor, which you can see one run of my target processor is pretty awful. Pretty awful. So that one's the only one running on the background thread now, because otherwise each frame would take 2.1 seconds, which is no bueno. ECS for the win. Yeah, U objects are chonky AF. I mean, they're actually not that much bigger. It's just it's the pointer chasing that was actually the issue. So like the memory size wasn't too bad, but it's just like the fact that it's a pointer means it's just located in some arbitrary location on your RAM. So anytime you loop over something that's a U object, like all of its members are just kind of like all over the place, right? Or like when you're doing like different entity datas and stuff like that, like you're just chasing pointers all over the place, which you know, it's basically like taking a trip to the grocery store for each individual item. It's just not efficient, right? You're gonna grab a bunch all at once. But anyways, let's see what our performance is looking like now. See what we're looking like now. Okay, so and we're gonna compare this to where we were before. So I think the one, these ones down here are probably all, these are all like these ones are all like sub milliseconds, so I don't even know if I care about those all that much. Although the LOD processor just got cut in half. Do you guys see this? So max time 0.6 milliseconds, average time 0.25, median time 0.23. That'll be this line right here. So we did cut that in half. We did cut that in half, but it was already pretty fucking fast anyway. So ISM processor, has that gotten any faster? 5.4, a max of 5.4 milliseconds, average 3.1, median 3.0. So maybe slightly, I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell if there's just some natural variance in it or not, but that potentially got slightly faster, half a millisecond maybe. Attachment processor, max 6.3, average 2.5, median 4. So that's about the same as it was before. Yeah, I don't know that I even made any changes to that. Stage tree processor, let's see, our new one is 30, max was 39. So that's actually quite it turns out the number 39 is higher than 22, so that's no bueno. Average time 9.1, median 9.0. So that actually got a little bit slower. Now, what did I change anything specifically in the state tree processor? And I guess the state tree processor is kind of hard to debug because every state tree task happens within this loop. So any change in my state tree tasks would be reflected in the state tree processor, which I guess is what happened. So that one's going to be kind of hard to break down. It's also not that big of a change, so I'm not too worried about it at the moment. Move to processor rather. Max was 38, average 14, median 13.7. So that's like very close to the same, slightly more this time around. Velocity processor, max 31, median 14.2, or no, average 14.2, median 14.0. So kind of hard to tell. Maybe slightly more, maybe slightly less. I'm just going to grab like another section here, a different subsection, see if it's any different. Like state tree processor, 22, 9, 8. Yeah, still a little bit higher. ISM seems to have gotten reliably faster. Target processor, I don't even want to look at you. 19, 14, 14 on velocity. Yeah, so it's not too different. It's not too different. And what's like give me like an average frame. 46 milliseconds, 46.3 ms. What I'm going to do, let's compare that to something from yesterday. So yesterday, today, grab me a random frame. So yeah, it's about the same, 40, 46, 46. It's maybe even more. It's maybe, is it, have I made it worse? Have I made it worse? 45, I mean, it's very close to the same. Why are we so spiky here, huh? What happened here? There's just some render thread shenanigans happening. $88 milliseconds. Yeah, the state tree processor just popping the absolute fuck off right there. Okay, so it's like, I don't know if that made a huge difference, which is kind of disappointing. Somewhat disappointing, but we got rid of that issue. That's good. I think this is committable for the bounds and interaction entity data. I was hoping that would be better. And I was hoping for more out of that. What about bounds and interaction entity data? What else did I do here? I think it was mainly just that. Oh, and then the LOD. Change LODs from arrays. For that stupid issue. Okay, so where's our next? Where do we go next? I was saying the avatar entity data is probably our worst offender. Well, now it's not anymore. How big is this? Size of 64. What about ISM entity data? What are we working with? Now the transform here. So what I was doing in the past for the ISM processor was I was like calculating all the transforms for them on the background thread, and then the game thread would just read whatever the latest transform is and apply it. Because I can't set locations off the game thread, which is unfortunate. Fortunate. So I'm not super sure where to attack next here. All of these are all pretty tight now. This one could be split out, but that's not a huge thing. Given abilities, that's like a defaults thing. Maybe I could put that on defaults. Let's throw that on defaults here. Given abilities, just delete that. Yeah, just delete it. Do I want to put that on character defaults? Yeah, I think that's fine. I think that's fine. Can I do a forward declaration there? Is that fine? Given abilities, and let's go to the proxy actor there. Dag, thank you for the sub. Welcome in. Let's see, given abilities, so that's not combat data anymore. That'll be character defaults, which should be on the. And actually, ability system defaults entity. Maybe it should just go on that. Yeah, let's just put it on that. That makes way more sense. That makes way more sense. Ability system defaults. What did I call it? Ability defaults. Oh, it's in the same file. Yeah. So we'll just do that. That makes way more sense. Given abilities, so now we don't need to grab combat data there. At all, actually. And I'm wondering if choose ability, do I need it in there? No, because we just grabbed the activatable abilities from the ASC. Okay. So small, tiny, itty bitty thing there. The introvert extrovert. Welcome in. Hello. Equipment data, that's good. Faction data, that's good. Yeah, that's probably good. How big are you? 184. Okay. Thanks. Okay. Input velocity, entity data, interactable, interaction, inventory, ISM entity data, LOD, movement setting. How big are you? 88. Move speed, braking distance. Yeah, ugh. Yeah, this stuff is kind of nasty. All the movement stuff. It makes my code nasty too. Move to target entity data. This one's probably 88. Okay. Not as big as I thought it would be. The movement type tag. Proxy actor. You're now as small as can be, basically. State tree data. Now I wonder for some of this stuff that like I don't need to actually grab from outside of. I wonder if these should just be members on the state tree processor. That could make the state tree entity data a bit smaller. The state tree instance data probably gets kind of large. transform data and then affected by gravity. Yeah, so I think probably the next big thing I need to do is fixing and refactoring the velocity processor and move to processor, because they interact with each other quite a bit here. Current LOD, that's not the right one. So if be affected by gravity, which maybe I should change that to a float rather than a Boolean, because then I could, it's like a gravity, it would turn into like a gravity scale. And so not affected by gravity would be like 0. Last update time. Okay. Okay. So do I start moving things to the background thread now? So two options here. I could try to just move things to background threads, to that, which is what I was doing before. This is Unreal? It is, yes. Unreal Engine. I could move things to background threads to make it align with what I was doing before. We're gonna have a lot of issues when I start doing that, though. We're gonna start finding where I've forgotten to put mutexes and thread locks and whatnot. Where's my state tree processor? This is probably the one. What's my longest one right now, actually? Velocity, actually. Velocity. I'm surprised. I would have thought state tree would be my longest one. I am surprised. So that means move to processor. And I guess probably once I start getting into like combat and stuff, that's when that's probably when the state tree processor will start to take more time. Let's pin move to processor. Didn't mean to close all those tabs. Velocity processor, pin that. Get rid of some of these imports here. Janelle, welcome in. Hello. Okay, so move to processor and velocity processor. Which one do I have set up to run first right now? It goes move to, then velocity. Okay, I probably need to grab the move to task as well, which is what adds the move to data, which is what invokes the move to processor. So that's the order it happens in. Thank you for the sub, my dude. Okay, so let's just, first of all, I can get rid of that. I don't need all that garbage right there. Oh yeah, the moving tag stuff. I forgot about that, which is now a subsystem. Yeah, I should probably take another look into that as well. That's something else that could be refactored, but not important at the moment. I have been cooking on the project, yes. Thank you for noticing. Now, I just want to see what if I just got the bounds data here as a part of. I mean, I'm wondering how big of a difference it would make to split these up into different processors. Let me look at a tray. I also want to see how much overhead there is to just like spinning up a processor, right? What is this gap right here? It's in between chunk processor and representation processor. What happens at the beginning of entity representation processor? Nothing. What is that big gap for? Huh, okay. But it looks like there's very little overhead to just like, what is that, like a few microseconds? 630 nanoseconds, Jesus. Okay, so yeah, we can spin up processors pretty fast. Pretty freaking fast. And so I can start to segment my velocity processor into just different pieces that require different data. For instance, the bounds data, which, where was that? Right here. So like there's only one part that I actually need the bounds data on, and I guess I'm doing half height on this. Okay, let me see this. Okay, so I'm gonna comment that out. We're just gonna hard code 90 into there. 90.f. Let's see how much that actually makes a difference. Let's see how much that actually makes a difference. And I need to rebuild, don't I? Yeah, we changed a lot. Okay. I feel so unproductive lately because part of me just wants to code, but all my off work time is being all in on studying these 4 UE books I bought. You're one of these book guys, huh? Are the books still up to date? That's why I don't read books. I also can't read, so that's another reason, but it's mostly because they go out of date. What are we waiting on? Can we get to work? Can we get to work here? You know, I might go, let me run to the bathroom real quick while this is building. BRB, guys. Hey, I beat the compiler. Look at that. We're gonna stand for a bit. Trying to be a book guy. There are new books based around UE5, yeah, so they're not even unlike that glossy textbook paper. Books are an interesting choice for tech. Like I get it for like back in the day, but like I don't know. In today's day and age, you know, it changes so fast. And the books, like books are more expensive, so I think it's like about money probably, but. You know, I would rather just read a blog post or a website or something, and that's more accessible as well. And you can search it, you can control F it. But I guess there's probably ebooks and stuff as well. Okay, so we're gonna let them spawn. Okay, everyone is spawned. Let's start tracing for a bit. We're just gonna let that soak. Just let it soak. Give me like a minute. Give me like a minute of testing here. For those just joining, I'm working on an RPG Colony Sim Roguelite game with procedural terrain. This is just the test level right now. But for this game, I want the whole world to be running. It's a very big world. It's like 15 kilometers. And so to have the whole world running, I need like a really efficient system, which is why I'm building an ECS system right now. That's what we're working on. I'm just doing some performance testing, basically. Okay, that should be good. It should be good enough to get a sample. We'll see if how much that affect. What is this? What is this? Error not equal to null pointer on what? Oh, dude. Dude, this like, there's all of this mass entity internals, like mass archetype data. Like, I'm not using mass. Can you please stop causing issues for me? That would be great. Okay, so now I have to rebuild for just some random reason that I don't even know has anything to do with my code. That's wonderful. Thank you. Thank you, Mass. Makes me want to use you even less. Okay, but let's take a quick little peek here. Let's just grab section. Grab like that. So for each process, did velocity get any better? Let's compare that. So here's velocity. Max was 50. What? That's so crazy. It's probably pretty inconsistent, which average 13.8, median 14. So that actually didn't get that, like, it didn't get that much better just from changing that. Which makes me feel like let's dive. Let's dive. It's probably the line traces that are taking most amount of time. Let's start breaking down. Let's start breaking down what is actually taking up most of the time in the processor. So let's revert that. I'm with you, but yeah, the main goal, is to get a few specific portfolio products to demonstrate specific skill set. The big one is reproducing Fear AI in Unreal. So doing a deep dive on AIs, HSTs, goal action oriented programming, getting understanding on how the industry vets design around UE. Okay. I think there were some good like GDC type talks on that stuff too. On that kind of stuff. So let me grab this section. So we're gonna do CPU tray, or what is it? It's trace, CPU profiler, event scope, U velocity, processor. We're gonna call this process entities. This is apply control input is what we're gonna call that. There's one section. And then if it's affected by gravity is a whole other section. We should probably split this up even deeper. Be affected by gravity. This is going to be so difficult to look at in the thing here. Gravity trace. That's everything in there, and then we just have like a little bit more. Handle movement tags. There's another good one that we can just slap a profile on. There we go. So throw that there. Then I think we can just run live coding on that bad boy. Babowski, thank you for the sub. Welcome in. Okay, so hopefully we can start to understand like what is taking the majority of the velocity processor. So we'll need to trace again here. Oh god. Hello? Oh my god, why is everything... What? Like my controls are all fucked up right now. Okay, hang on. Restart that. What is... Okay, yeah, restart that. That was weird. Okay. We're backing up. Back it up, back it up, back it up, back it up. Okay, so let all those spawn. So I can get the full 2K. Okay, everything is spawned. So let's grab this and that. Okay, so let that soak for a bit. Remember my mind being blown when I saw someone overrode input action assets to bind directly to abilities under the hood. I mean, I think that's built into gas. Like, gas abilities have the ability to bind input. I use it for some of them. There's like the confirm, like there's like a whole enum you can make that like you can confirm and cancel ability. Like there's a system for that. Although maybe what you're talking about does something different. But there is some sort of a system for that existing. Okay, so I guess I don't really need a huge example for this, so probably good. Oh, wonderful, corrupt hash. Wonderful. So what, pray tell? What, pray tell, is the issue here? Inventory component. Is that not a weak object pointer? It's not. That'll do it. That'll do it. Yeah, okay. I know that's going to break some things, so just let me know. Let me know where that's at. Why did my thing go crash? Okay, yeah, show me where it hurts. Yeah, we'll have to get haulable items in inventory. So what happens if I dot get on an invalid weak object pointer? Does it actually... Oh my god. Okay, so it's probably that, weak pointer dot... Yeah, can you just take me there, please, instead of giving me this garbage? Yeah, we gotta manually find this one. Oh, the weak pointer base. Okay, I'm just gonna assume that that's fine. We're gonna assume that that's fine until it bites us in the ass. I'm just gonna guess that .get on a weak object pointer will return null pointer instead of crashing, which is what I want. Inventory data and inventory component. Inventory data. Yeah, so we'll need to do something like this here. Inventory components. Init. If we don't have it, return failed as well. Probably what we should do in that other part as well. Okay. There's probably more U objects that I need to change into weak pointers here. Prevent some of the crashes that happen when shutting things down. You know, garbage collection. Garbage collection shenanigans. Alright. So, that's the old one. I don't want that one anymore. Now that's a cool terrain. If I could get some procedural terrain that looked like this, ooh, oh boy. Pumpkin pie, welcome in. You know, let me be the first to welcome pumpkin pie into the fall season. I'm happy to have you. I'm happy to see you. So give me that last trace. That was, yeah, 5 minutes ago. That sounds right. Sometimes I feel like it doesn't save the traces. Nice music. Thanks, Peter. Okay, so now we got a bunch of little tiny blips here. So let's just start digging into this. Okay, so applying the control input. Is a big part of it. That's actually the biggest part. Interesting. I would not have guessed that, actually. What is happening in the control? Oh, I wonder if it's the get movement entity. It's probably this. It's probably this. Yeah, because we're getting like optional data here. Unity? No, this is Unreal Engine. Okay, yeah, this is this is where the big refactors need to start happening. Movement data. So this just kind of defines like how things move. Can you provide me internship? No, I am not a company. I can't provide internships, unfortunately. And the ability system, I already said I wanted to refactor gas. I already said I already know I want to refactor gas a bit, or at least override some parts of it. So having movement info, because what's happening here is applying a move speed modifier. And this is happening on the control input. Is that how I want that to happen? God. Yeah, I probably need to like change. I need to change everything that's in an ability system component to be backed by some struct data. And then find some way to translate, make some functions to translate between the two, so that then I can just reference the struct data. Like, dude, I guess I'm gonna need probably a piece of entity data for each attribute, which is like a lot. But I mean, I guess maybe the primary ones that I would need would be like health, because I check if things are dead a lot. But I wonder if that could just be like a piece of entity data itself. I wonder if I could update my archetype queries to take in like like entities that don't have a particular piece of data, because then I could create like an entity data that's just an empty struct, and all it is like a tag for like if it's dead or not. I know that other ECS systems use that, so I could use that instead of gameplay tags. But I do like using gameplay tags. They're quite nice. They are quite nice. Are you using ECS architecture? Yeah, so I'm making my own ECS system. Well, I've had it made for a while. I'm like going through and refactoring some things. Yeah, so I could change the archetypal queries to potentially take in like not this data. So like give me everything that's not dead, right? That would be like the main use case for it. Then that way I wouldn't really need health at all in any of my processors. I would still need move speed. Move speed would be like the big one. That should probably just be on movement data. That would make sense, right? How big is movement data? 88. Yeah, the movement settings. Movement setting. Move speed. Move speed, maybe I should just put into its own. Let's look at Unreal's mass entity system is so weird to use. Yeah, I found it really difficult to use, and I was quite unhappy with it. Couldn't get it to really do what I wanted. But yeah, wrote my own, just so I could get a better understanding and have more flexibility. What are we doing here? Movement info. Which is, that's just like a struct of info. Yeah, maybe I should just, because what am I doing with this? In the velocity processor, all I need is max speed, turning boost, deceleration, and all I need is every piece of data that's on it. Okay. Yeah, so tells me absolutely nothing. Okay. So why do I have a struct for that? Oh, for the, yeah, okay. That's like the, the extracted data. Okay, I forgot about all this. Hey buddy, please tell where to start to be a game dev. Type that into Google. If you don't know how to look up information on your own without having someone else tell you exactly what to do, you're not going to get very far. I'm sorry. So you need to figure out how to ask the right questions, and you need to figure out how to find the answers to those questions. I know you're looking for a better answer than that, and I don't have one. Everyone learns differently, so that the answer on where to start is different for everyone. You're interested in different things. You're going to make a different game than me. You're probably going to use a different engine than me, maybe. You have a different skill set than me. I don't know what knowledge you have. Like, there's way too many variables that go into something like that for me to give you an absolute answer that I know you're probably looking for. So you need to be able to find answers to your own questions. And there is a wealth of knowledge on the internet. Like Pumpkin Pie says, YouTube tutorials are a great start. They are. I'm not a big fan of tutorials or courses or whatever. I like to learn by doing. I like to have a project. I like to break it down into very small pieces and then just Google search for how to get those really, really small pieces done. That's how I learn best. I could throw another scope trace in there. Let's get rid of, let's see how much faster it gets by just getting rid of that. That's not, it's not even coming into play for what I'm currently doing. So let's see if that gets much better. We do need the movement data though. We do need that. That's probably something, is that, am I already getting that in the velocity processor? I have move to data. I wonder if the move to processor should be the one in charge of giving that to the velocity processor. Or the input data or something. So yeah, let's go ahead, run that again. Is it possible without a degree? I've heard it's really hard to get opportunities without it. I don't have one. But yeah, it is harder now than when I first started due to economic conditions. Okay, so let's run that for a little bit. Does your game need an ECS system for performance purposes? It does, yeah. I want to simulate the entire world, basically. It's a large world. I can show it here in a sec for those who maybe haven't seen it. I want to get this performance profiled and whatnot. I'm just going to let that sit for a little bit. Okay, let's stop, drop, settle down, open up shop. The Rough Riders roll, if you didn't know. Let's see now. Yeah, the flight control input is still the largest part of it, so that didn't seem to shave very much off, if any. Let's validate that. Let's see. Yeah, let me get my old benchmarks here. Velocity. 17 max. That shaved about 2 milliseconds off. 2 to 3 milliseconds. Yeah, about 2 milliseconds it actually shaved off. Okay, let me show the game. I'll show the game here. Let's grab a new seed here. Let's go seed 653. Okay. So I am making an RPG Colony Sim Roguelite with procedural destructible terrain and AI generated quests. This is a nice seed. We got some different colors, different biomes. I don't blend them very well, but yeah, this isn't too bad of a seed. This is a good display of the two different biomes that I do have. I have the foresty biome. I have this meadowsy biome. I guess this is ocean here, so there's nothing spawned there. Oh, dude, look at that tree. Look how that tree got spawned. That's crazy. Okay, here's a meadows biome with some red textured grass. I wanted to make it like an entirely red zone, so I was just playing around with the textures a little bit. But yeah, I'm thinking something like Vanilla WoW plus RimWorld plus Hades. Is what I'm thinking of. What is requirement for game? Don't have that yet. Not far enough along yet. So yeah, we got the 3D noise as well. So there's like caves and stuff, which was a huge pain in the ass to figure out. But once I did, it allowed me to do all this fun stuff. So eventually there'll be like ore and monsters and stuff down here. Usually I have a bunch of entities spawned in the world. But I'm working on the ECS system now, so I turned that off for the time being. Is there a way to get into this zone over here? I don't think so. Fortnite jump style. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you mean. Thank you. Can I get through with this one? No, I can't. We can try a different seed. This one's not too bad, but here's the world map. There's all the different zones. Each pixel on here is a terrain chunk. Each of these zones have like different names on them. So if you look right here as I hover over them, the name will change. So we have like the Church of Faith is this one. Gloomthorn Basin, that's a good name. That's a good name for like a really like thick grove. Maybe like there's like poisonous stuff in there and whatnot. Wormstone Wastes, that's a good name for a desert. The Minotaur's Maze of Deception. Stormhaven Citadel. Prisoner's Cell of Confinement. Sunstone Coast. And so like each of these will be like flavorful and kind of they're AI generated names, and they're just like purely random right now, so they don't really make much sense as to what's actually spawned in the world. But eventually I'll pass in the things that are spawned in the world to the AI so that they're actually flavorful. But yeah, the game genre will be RPG Colony. This is all ocean. This is all ocean. It's RPG Colony Sim Roguelite. So you'll create a character, lots of different classes to pick from that all have like a bunch of unique abilities to pick from. You can run around in the world and explore. There'll be NPC ran colonies, and there'll just be different entities and monsters out in the world that you can fight and level up every few levels. You'll choose from like 3 random abilities and build out your class. When you die, you'll start over at level 1. You can also recruit colonists out in the world. Create your own colony. Have a bit of a building system, so you can like build for your colonists. Your colonists will have like moods and needs and traits and skills and stuff that'll make them nice and unique. There'll be social standings between colonists and you. There will be you know, different factions in the world and stuff like that, different interactions for the Colony Sim side of things. But yeah, here's the world map for this one. Oracle's Grove of Wisdom, the Forgotten Graveyard. Yeah, so here's a good... There's a break in the mountains over here. It's like Minecraft in 4K. Yeah, the terrain generation part, I suppose, yeah. But Minecraft is not a colony sim, nor is it... I mean, I guess there are some RPG elements in it. It's not a roguelite either, so... We're going to be doing quite a bit different from what Minecraft does, but... I will take some notes from their book for, like, caves and stuff. Like, I want to spawn ore down in the caves. Very, very a la Minecraft for that part. So it's a combination of many things. It's all just placeholder assets at the moment. So no, these are all just like free for the month assets that I've just kind of kit bashed together. So this is not like, this is not the vibe of the game. This is not what it will look like eventually. I wanted to spawn in a forest. Well, now I'm going to spawn like in a cave or something now. But yeah, I want to run the entire world, which is why I'm working on the ECS system. So I'm sort of, so I don't know, can I even get out of here? I don't know. Ugh. I need to fix my mantling settings so I can actually like mantle on the terrain. Please, sir, let me, oh god. Oh no. Okay. Alright, new seed. Okay, I'm in another ocean. Good lord. That's a nice, interesting zone, though. 657, 658. Okay, another ocean. Dude, I'm getting a series of bad seeds here. Usually it's not this bad. Okay, here we go. Now we got a good seed. There's a good one. There's a good one. There's a good one. I'm making a cafe management dating sim open world city exploration game. That sounds like a lot. Sounds cool though. Can I romance a druid that can turn into a bear and fuck me? If it doesn't have that, then I might be out. How come you're using UE4 Sky? I don't know, because this is UE5, so I'm not even sure what you mean. But I have dynamic tree chopping, so like wherever the axe connects, it actually edits the mesh at runtime, turns it into a dynamic mesh. And you can chop through it, and it'll fall down, so a little bit there. Some fun things there. Some mushrooms in the forest we can grab. Now I have mushrooms, I can eat them, you know, yummy, yummy. Whole map is procedurally generated, yes, correct. Oh, that's sick over there. A giant hole. Well, I guess there's probably a chunk that hasn't generated here. Yeah, it's all procedurally generated, and the world is very big, so we're only looking at a section that's about this big. So it's a very big world. I need to populate it with a lot of entities, and I need to run everything on the background thread. You're using the old sky dome. Oh, okay. You say so. Like I said, everything's just placeholder assets right now. Like, I'm not really working on what the game looks like. I'm working on how the game works, right? Whee. This is some sort of survival game. It's going to be an RPG Colony Sim Roguelite. So nothing spawned in the world. Usually I do have things spawned in the world. I have colonists that you can recruit, enemies that you can fight. But I'm working on the ECS system right now, so have it temporarily turned off. I was here the other morning and it's already got this much more done. You're insane. Okay, so a lot of people come in here and say that. I haven't touched the terrain generation in over a year. This is just, it's just procedurally generated terrain. So it has not changed. The terrain generation has not changed. None of what you're seeing right here has been worked on in the past year, basically. So that's just how procedural terrain works. Like, there's different seeds, right? I don't hand make any of this. It just gets generated. How much work went into the parameters for a procedural map? A lot. Not sure how you want me to quantify that, but yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. I've been working on this for almost 3 years now. Can you name some other games like the one you're making? As in, like, similar in genre? Like, I don't know that there's any other game that has done a genre combination that I'm going for. Or maybe you're asking, I haven't worked on it yet. This is my first game, but I don't know if you're asking that either. But the games that I'm using that I want to combine is like vanilla WoW in terms of like class design and combat, plus RimWorld in terms of the Colony Sim, plus Hades in terms of the roguelite, and then maybe sprinkle like a little bit of Legend of Zelda in there or something. That's what I want to go for. Maybe a little bit of Minecraft, maybe a little bit of Valheim in there as well, you know. Just let them be amazed. I mean, I don't want to, like, I want people to understand what I'm doing, I guess. Looks crisper for some reason, maybe my phone, well, yeah, maybe the stream is crispier, I don't know. This is a nice looking seed, so I'll give you that. Did you start building your game in Unreal? Nope, just Unreal. Just Unreal. You're in your first game and already making a custom ECS system? That's crazy. Is it? It's just code. It's not that scary. So yeah. I would show off like some of the Colony Sim things. I built this nice little walking voxel algorithm to define like areas. It's kind of shitty at the moment. But yeah, it'll like follow the terrain. Like the terrain is not voxelized. Not inherently so, at least. And so like I spin up these voxels on the fly that like wrap around the terrain. And this is how you'll define like, hey, plant stuff in this area, right? Like you make it green. Be like, okay, chop trees in this area. Or like you can use it as storage as well. You know, I could say like, here, I can drop the, you know, stuff in this storage area. And then like the colony knows about this now. So if the colonists need like some food, they can come over here and take the mushroom, you know. And if I drop stuff on the ground, I could drop that and they could come pick it up and then haul it. So I have some colonist tasks for like, what do I have? I have construction working, I have hauling working, I have foraging so they can go pick up like mushrooms and stuff as well. And I'd show that, but I'm working on the system right now, so it's in a working, in progress state. Dealing with tons of health issues and miss game deving. Always fun watching others do it, so cheers. Hey, I'm sorry to hear that, man. That sucks. I have some back issues myself that sometimes make it difficult, so I feel you on some level. I hope you can get back to game deving soon. I have not made any other games. Yeah, I needed a system like this rather than just using like a box for like an area, because I have the underground caves, right? So if you just treated this like a box volume, you would also select all this like space underneath this hill here, and there could be a cave. And so you might say like, hey, go forage in this area or something, and you might accidentally send your colonists into the cave. And there might be more dangerous things in the cave, and they might die, right? So I needed to prevent a scenario like that. So that's why I made this little area system. Yeah, you can like put stuff in and whatnot. Yeah, that's a little bit. I don't know if I have much. I can show maybe the. No, it's not gonna work, is it? Did that work? That kind of worked. That's hard to see though. trying to show the destructible terrain. It's very shitty, so maybe it's not even worth. I can't even hit the terrain. My animation is so bad. This is like a homemade animation, so yeah, I can't even hit it. How did you become this good without making something before? I mean, I've been a software engineer for years. There we go. There's the destructible terrain. Okay, I can edit the terrain at runtime. There's proof. It looks terrible. It's not very useful, but it can be done. It can be done. So I need to get some like procedural points of interest and stuff spawned in here as well. I'm going to do this ECS refactor. Still lots to do there. I can't even get up here, can I? Then I'm going to do a bit of a terrain gen refactor. Although maybe once I get the ECS system done, I'm just going to start doing raids. See some raids in here or something. If I build it, I can't build. Yeah, I need to fucking rework the building system because it's also not very useful. Also not very useful. Okay, we'll just pop back out here. Oh dear. Okay. Oh dear. New to this channel, so can I? What's the context for it? I'm working on a video game, so we're just doing some game dev today. I'm wrapping up though, so we're just kind of looking through some of the seeds. What is this? What is this? A bug in my biome generation. Excuse me. That's specific to this seed. Interesting. Should have picked Java instead of JavaScript. I don't have enough experience with object-oriented programming. What's stopping you? I started with JavaScript, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. It's been a long time. Are we rebuilding? Okay, yeah, we're rebuilding. But yeah, I'm probably, actually, this is probably where I should get off. I have to get to work, do some actual work. So yeah, unfortunately, I have to get off. We'll look at one more seed. We got one more seed, and then I have to hop off here for the day. I think the building system should modify the terrain so you can build anywhere. Well, that'll be on you. It'll be on you to modify the terrain. But I need the building system to be a bit more lenient. Is what I need, I think. So yeah, here's another seed. Here we go. One more seed here. We'll spawn in a meadows biome. And there's a little entrance that we can get to the next zone in. Should I start straight to C++ or learn Java or C# first? Whatever you are more motivated to work on. Whatever helps you meet your goals better. What is your goal? Is your goal to make a game, or is your goal to learn object-oriented programming? There's a nice little cave here. That's nice. That looks nice. Build a little colony in here, in the cave. My goal is to make a game. Well then, I would pick the language for the engine that you plan to use. If you plan to use Unity, that would be C#. If you plan to use Unreal Engine, that would be C++. If you plan to use Godot, that will be, actually Python would be the closest one, but Godot script, basically. I already learned Python, but I want to build my skill. What can I study? I mean, same answer, whatever you're motivated to work on. I can't answer that. I'm not going to tell you what to study. You got to figure that out on your own. Whatever excites you and you are interested in the most. Is it your photo in the background? No. I don't know what you're talking about. A genre game? RPG, Colony Sim, Roguelite is the combo I'm going for. So, usually there's like stuff spawn, like mobs spawn in the world and stuff, but I'm working on that at the moment, so we're just kind of running around. I gotta hop off and go to work here soon. We're just kind of running around for a little bit. Little sunflower. Eventually I'll do a foraging skill, so you'll actually like spend time gathering, you know, and it'll increase your skill level in foraging and whatnot, and it'll require a certain skill level to like grab certain things, you know. Are you going to introduce it to the Play Store? No, phones can't handle the type of game that I'm making. Colony Sim like Ostriv or Colony Sim like Medieval Dynasty? I'm going for Colony Sim like RimWorld. Would be probably the closest that I want to go for. So like I'm picturing Vanilla WoW plus RimWorld plus Hades. You know, a little bit of Valheim or Minecraft or Legend of Zelda mixed in there. I take inspiration from a lot of places, so it's not going to be entirely like any game. Go full screen. A little laggy right there. It's a nice little... This would be a nice like starter base, you know? You just throw some walls up here. Little entrance over there. How long do you think it will take for you to complete? Maybe 20 years, 25 years. I think every time I'm asked that, I come up with a longer date. It's a picture of a cool physique on your wall. Is it you? No. No. None of those are me. I'm gonna pop over the other side here. Let's go like right here. Can I get here? Ow. You come online every day? Almost. Most days. Usually in the mornings for me. Which would be about 3 hours ago. So whatever time that is for you. 3 hours ago, daily. Usually when I get online. I think he means, did you make the art? But it's pretty clearly Sauron's tower. Yeah. No, I didn't make the art. Those are the ones on the wall are displays. Chop some trees. Oh, what the hell was that? Oh, I just broke it. God damn it. How much time do you give to this project every day? I mean, I don't. I have no idea. I have no idea what that number is. Last time you mentioned that the game will take about 10 years. Yeah. It's gonna take a while. It's gonna take a while. Damn, I come back an hour later and you have a whole forest. Yeah, it's just procedural generation. So I didn't put any this year. What happens if you jump inside that water? Well, there's no water, but I assume you mean the cave. What would happen is I would fall, and most of the time I end up falling through the world. So I need to, something I need to fix. This is also a voxel-based map. it's not inherently voxelized. Like the techniques I use to generate it do like have a resolution on them. But like when I deform the terrain and stuff, it's not like I don't store voxel information or anything. So it's all just like a per vertex kind of thing. Like if I were to go here and like show the vertex data, like I store it on a per vertex basis. So you can see like all the different colors and stuff. So if I were to like look right here, maybe is a good example, turn on the vertices, so you can see like I just have the data on a per vertex basis. So it's not like inherently voxelized. How do you manage working on something this huge while working on a full-time job? I mean, I enjoy working on this, so it's not that difficult to like, you know, it's not like I have to force myself to do this every day. This is what I want to do every day. So that part's easy. It's easy to work on this, but usually the cadence that I've figured out is that, you know, I wake up in the morning, I do game dev for a little bit, and then I you know, sometimes I do a little bit of work before I start. And then I do work for the rest of the day, basically. That's kind of the cadence I figured out that works best for me, so that I can consistently work on this, because all my good energy is in the morning, right, when I'm working on this. So, then all my, like, bad, tired, because I don't want to go to work and then work on this, because then I'm, like, tired. So, I try to spend my good energy on the things that I enjoy. It's like with my web development, I'm an hour in and still working on the same feature. Yeah, I mean, that happens. That happens. Also, I did not realize you're using procedural generation. That's awesome. Can't wait to see the final game. Well, thank you. Yeah. So everything's procedurally generated. Everything is. Does every object have a health bar, and can you enable burn damage for trees and stuff? I mean, I think the trees will have like a health to them eventually. And yeah, there will be fire in the game. So eventually, just not super high priority right now. Is ALS going to be your locomotion system, or are you using it as a placeholder? I think so. I think so, but just for the player. I might just try a traditional blend space as well, see if that's, you know, it's definitely going to be easier to work with. I don't know. We'll see. For now, I'm sticking with ALS for the time being. But yeah, I gotta go to work now. I have to go to work now. So let's see if we can find someone to raid you all over to. Who is streaming today that we haven't raided in a while? We're gonna hit up Mizu. Oh damn, she's been streaming for like 9 hours. Is she gonna keep going? You might be hopping off soon, I'm not sure. We could hit up Zed. Back to working on his retro dungeon crawler, which is pretty sick. Or we could hit Cavino, who streams on YouTube as well. I could send you guys over on YouTube over there. Let's do that. We have a bunch of people on YouTube. Let's raid Cavino. I'm gonna redirect everyone on YouTube over to Cavino. Just Cavino, who's another game dev. Streams on Twitch as well. If you want to go hang out with us over there, the more the merrier, of course. Let's redirect you guys over to Cavino. So yeah, thanks everyone for hanging out with me today. Appreciate you all. Good stream. Thank you, Sovereign. Good to see you. Love to see the progress. Thanks, man. Thank you, guys. Why are you not just making a cash cow game? Because that's not why I'm doing it. I'm not trying to make cash. I'm trying to do what I love. I know that's a crazy concept. Crazy concept, 2025. But I appreciate all the subs and the support today. An awesome stream. I think it's the most viewers I've ever had today. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, I'm gonna get on out of here. I gotta go to work. But thank you all. Thank you all so much. And take care. Have a great day, everyone.
My Windy Life is an idle clicker.